Hey, what's up everybody, it's me Holden ZA and I'm here with episode 2 of our tips and tricks session. Today we're going to be discussing movement as well as positioning. If you want to go watch last week's episode of how to snipe with some great sniping tips, just click on the sniper rifle below and you'll get straight into episode 1. Okay, so first off we're going to be discussing movement. So first off is strafing. Strafing is the sideways movement of your character whilst centering your opponent. What you need to do is you need to move your left analog stick all the way to the left or right, as we'll see here is the right hand side, while keeping your opponent in the middle of your screen by slightly touching your right analog stick. Now side to side strafing is just best used when trying to avoid the opposition's bullets. As you can see, just moving left and right keeps them in the center of my screen, but also makes me a more difficult target to shoot at, as we'll see in this demonstration here. Awesome stuff. Now that can be also used with the Lancer, as we'll see in this example video. The side to side movement keeps my enemy guessing as to where I'm going to be, thus giving me the upper hand and letting me take advantage of the battlefield. So next up is wall bouncing, and note a look sensitivity of above 15, I personally recommend 20 is required. Okay, so jumping into cover is simple enough. You push A button and boom, you jump into cover. So a wall bounce is when you go in towards cover but you pull back on your left analog stick so you cancel the cover. Thus you have done a wall bounce. Wall bounce with directional change is exactly the same as mentioned earlier, except as you're coming out of the cancel of the wall bounce, you push right on your analog stick and you'll go right, left you'll go left, and if you keep on holding in left or holding in right, you'll do a complete directional change. Alright, so here's an example video of in-game footage of myself trying to chase an opponent. As you can see, I'm trying to get shots on him. He has me on the left hand side, so what I do is I wall bounce, take the shot, thus avoiding his incoming fire and take the kill. So next up is combo wall bouncing. This is use of multiple wall bounces to avoid opposition fire. As you can see, it's just moving from one wall to another. I highly recommend you go onto the map Old Town and practice down this passage just to get your wall bouncing right. Next up, I want to show you the powers of the stopping power of the Lancer and wall bouncing, how it actually manages to cancel out stopping power. As you can see, I managed to get much further down the passage and actually get a couple of shots on my opposition. Next up, positioning. Okay, so first up we're going to be discussing right hand aim or right hand advantage. It is when you push your left trigger and you'll notice straight away your character will pick up the gun and aim it towards the opponent in the right hand position. This is useful because you're allowed to use cover to hide most of your body while being able to take out the opposition. Next up we're going to be doing left hand aim. Left hand aim has the same advantages as right hand aim, except it requires a little bit extra to pull off. What you do is when you're in cover, you hold in the left trigger to look over your left hand shoulder, and then you pull back on the left analog stick and then you'll be holding your left hand aim. Left hand aim is especially useful when you don't have the opportunity to be using the right hand aim, and most of the time it catches the opponent off guard because they really don't expect you to be aiming over the left hand shoulder and using cover on the left hand side. Next up we're going to be doing jump evading. Now when jumping, you'll notice that as I jump back to the center, I always seem to land at the same spot. Okay, so when jumping we have noticed a couple of things. Firstly, that it is equidistant, and that means that whenever I'm jumping, I'm going to be jumping exactly to the same position if I jump back into that position. So what we can do is we can use this against our opponent. Say my opponent is in cover, as example A would be behind this dumpster truck. As I jump to the right, I know exactly where I'm going to land, therefore I know exactly where I can take my shot. This can also be done to the left hand side, as we'll be showing here. If my opponent had to be behind this cover, I jump to the left hand side because I know exactly where the distance is and I manage to take the shot and kill my opponent. Here's a great example video of the aforementioned jumping technique. Alright, so that summarizes our movement and positioning video. Here's an example video of where you can use all the aforementioned into one section. Hope you guys enjoy it.
about this? You could hit the broadside of a barn and you
So
hit
that
me.
was strafing, jumping technique. I think there was a wall bounce thrown in there. Anyway, that's the tips and tricks for this week's, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week we're going to be having a great episode of the Nasher shotgun, so make sure to subscribe and like the video. Any questions, please comment in the question section below. I hope to catch you guys all next week, Monday, for another tips and tricks session with myself, Holden ZA, brought to you by Xboxreel. Catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.